Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وبه نستعين. First and foremost, I would like to thank British Embassy for organizing this iftar function, for the inviting and for inviting me to share with you the moment. Ramadan is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, which Muslims and tolerant societies celebrate annually around the world. Ramadan is a time when Muslims first recite Quran praise, give a lot of charity, and do not eat and drink until sunset for 29 or 30 days. Islam, like any other heavenly religion, is a religion of peace. It promotes values of peace, tolerance, and harmonious coexistence among humans regardless of their backgrounds. We have gathered here this evening to break the fast and share food and water, and the most importantly, to build stronger ties for our mutual benefits. Honorable Minister, Excellencies, permit me to say something on the status of the implementation of the peace agreement, especially the roadmap. We view the 2018 peace accord as the most effective and perhaps the only way for South Sudan to transition from crisis to a stable pluralism and democratic country. In the light of above viewpoint, we call upon 2018 peace grantors and the wider international community to join hands with the unity government to expedite quick, comprehensive, timely implementation of roadmap to enable South Sudan conduct successful, free, fair, and credible election next year comes 2024. The government efforts to implement the roadmap is surely lagging behind the timetable, but there is no doubt in my mind that we, the leaders, are working together to resolve any thorny issues along the way. I believe that this is a clear demonstration of political will. However, I should also point out the challenges facing the peace implementation process and suggest possible way for that when carried out, we will meet the deadline and conduct free, fair, and credible election next year. 1. Inadequate funding of the overall voluntary disarmament exercise countrywide. 2. The lack of funding to the political parties to the peace agreement to prepare for election next year. Inadequate funding to the activities of the permanent constitution-making process. Financing of the census countrywide. Facilitation of the refugees and internal displaced persons, their resettlement and reintegration. My suggestion is that since the funding needed could not be raised by the donors or peace grantors, understandably because of the burden they are already shouldering for South Sudan, it will be wiser for international community to ease economic sanction on South Sudan so that it could mobilize enough resources for the above critical activities. If economic restrictions are lifted are lifted, South Sudan will be able to request for a loan from the friendly countries and refund them sometime later. In addition to this, it is a time to leave arm embargo to allow South Sudan to equip its army and for it to defend itself from any aggressions. Finally, the government will soon deploy the unified forces across the country to strengthen security and to maintain law and order, and to alleviate the suffering of the people. We encourage the partners which full out for example, help Fund to return and continue serving the people of South Sudan. Thank you very much.